This is a 2000 Lupo GTI that was only available in Europe.
And this is a VR5 engine that never came to North America.
So we're gonna do what any two sane people would do and smash them together. And by smash them together, I guess I mean jumpstart. Pop the hood. VW in the house. Un pimp the auto. That was my really bad impression. Hey, try it now.
Hey, we did it. Let's see.
Come on in.
Come on out.
Oh, it's gas.
I told you this thing was leaking. Lick it.
Gasoline. Cool. All right, we're 30 seconds into our project and we have two problems. One, a dead battery, which honestly is not that big of a deal. Two, we have a fuel leak. There was a puddle of fuel outside the shop and on the ground. So we need to figure out why this thing is leaking fuel before we get too wild and crazy.
That line looks bent.
You look bent. So if you look right here, look at all this fuel. I wonder.
Fuel pump on top is not seated properly.
I don't know, dude. It's wet. Oh yeah, look at how wet it is
it's
up here.
Top. Someone's messed with the fuel pump and it's probably leaking out of either one of the fittings or the seal itself.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so, because we can't get a tank in this country. We can't get a tank in the United States of America. Have to go over to communism.
I actually smelled it as soon as I put fuel in it.
Yeah.
Which is probably why there was almost no gas in it
when... Because it probably has a pretty bad fuel leak.
Okay, so we don't have to smell fuel for the next entirety of this project. I'm gonna hope anyway that this is like a Mark IV. So here's our fuel access. Let's get this guy off. Holy smackaroonies. It is full of fuel. Wow.
Oh boy.
Yeah. The question is, what do I do to suck off this fuel?
You got an extractor from shopdown.com, right?
Yeah, you know you're not supposed to use those with gasoline,
well,
right?
I do, so.
If you buy a tool from Paul and it's improper tool usage, but it's improper tool usage like Paul does, it's okay.
No, that's not true. If that came from overfilling, it's because the fuel pump seal isn't sealing.
Oh, it's the feed line that's leaking.
We've located the leak.
Now the question is it the housing or the line? Let's hope for the housing, I suppose, because that's way less stupid to replace than that line.
It's probably the line.
It's definitely the line.
It's almost for sure the line.
Here's the good thing. It's very likely not the fuel tank.
Well, I can tell you this. It's not a US part.
You know I have it though, it's right here.
No, I'm talking about you taped a magnet into a marker.
Yeah, so I wouldn't lose it. Listen.
He does it's functional and it's good, but he does so many things
Linda,
like this all the time.
Here's why I did that. As we're working on this black R32 and I torque bolts, I want to mark them to know that I painted them. But what I don't want is to have clown action under here with 87 different color markers trying to mark my bolts. So I want them to all be this color. So I put that right there, stuck it right by the button on the lift so I wouldn't lose it. My life is a series of steps to prevent and overcome me being an idiot.
Well, Charles loves two things.
Gaff tape?
Gaff tape is number one.
If I could have found the gaff tape for that.
And then painter's tape would be number two.
This is very similar to the pump that's inside of the car. So fuel comes out of this one into the line and up to the engine, and then on the return back into here. And what it is right at the bottom where it meets this top plate is cracked. We're gonna take that pump out eventually and evaluate, like, maybe this fits. Maybe we have to get a pump from the motherland. I'm thankful it's not the tank. That is the big takeaway. We should probably find where the battery is too, by the way.
We do have some floor mats. They need some love, but I think they'll clean up nicely. So this car's got 191K on it and still has
191 kilometers.
Okay, kilometers. It still has this guy in the wrapper.
This is a Volkswagen in its natural habitat. Not only is the car broke down, but the triangle is also broken. All right, let's get a charger on that. Maybe we can bring that
absolutely no chance.
Old girl back to well.
Now, before we tear the engine out of this car, we want to kind of shake it down, verify what's good and bad. So I'm going to be under the engine bay doing inspection, and Charles is going to be in there scanning the faults.
Now, I have my VCDS here. It took everything I have not to hook up my favorite tool that I own, the VW 1551 scan tool. If you know, you know. If not, don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. We do have a fault for the right front ADS wheel speed sensor, so that's going to be something important to note. While Paul gets under the hood and I boot up the scan tool, let's take a look at our VR5 engine. We never got this engine here in the US, but what's really cool is it's actually super similar to a 24-valve VR6 that would have come in like a 2003 GTI. In fact, a bunch of the parts are actually the same, especially on the timing side. Now, something we're gonna have to account for in our Lupo is gonna be an engine mount. I think I have the transmission mount and the like dog bone mount figured out, but this one, not so much. So I'm just gonna take this off and get it out of our way for now. One, that's gonna open up a ton of room, but the real difference is the Lupo, where the engine mount goes onto the car, is high. I've come into this project overly optimistic with like, yeah, everything's just gonna work out fine. We're not gonna have any problems. That is stupid on my part. And we'll see, maybe Ray will put a little tally of how many times I was wrong and things are actually way harder than I had anticipated. Ooh, nah, ooh, ooh. What is, that's just water, is that full? Oh no. 1 second after I said I'm overly optimistic, these look like they are the same as the VR6s though, so that at least is a good thing. I'm gonna auto scan. Can I auto scan this thing? Function not supported, damn it.
This engine is coming out of the car, obviously, but we're gonna inspect the timing belt on here. Oh my God, it's a double, I've never seen a double timing belt before.
What does it all mean?
I've literally never seen a double timing belt.
Isn't that insane?
That's crazy. Like a timing belt's job on an engine, timing belt or a timing chain, is to keep the top of the engine and the bottom of the engine turning together. In this one, they have one belt that holds the cams together and then another belt that holds the top of this cam and then the crank together. Different than what we get here for sure. In addition to that, this is the first Volkswagen I've ever seen with an exhaust manifold on the front. All of the Volkswagens in the US have the exhaust manifold on the back. In the US, the sign of a hack is when you find orange RTV all over things. But this engine also has orange RTV for the valve cover. By the way, don't do it because it always leaks. So
more RTV is not
more is not better in that case. They almost always leak when you do that.
All good at this point. What I'm really trying to account for though is we're gonna do all this work to this car, and when we're done, if I have a Christmas tree, I know we screwed something up, and that's kind of, yeah.
It is a Christmas tree, I'm just gonna say.
Time to get the wheels off, but look at, I'm noticing in the center here, this is probably anti-seize. So now that it's here, it will be everywhere. These are 15-inch wheels with a 205/45/15, which is very likely not the factory size tire. I would have guessed it would be a 195. So you can see the red from the carrier, which is like a common GTI thing. We got silver in the caliper. But what's cool is one of the things we're gonna do is we're gonna pull all the brakes off and get them powder coated so that they're all fresh.
By the way, if you put anti-seize like this on this part of your wheel hub, you haven't accomplished anything, just to be clear. You also don't need this much. This is a little, it's
just like the orange RTV. The more you put on, the better it works.
The knuckle is like such a Mark III little baby knuckle.
Look at how rusted that is.
It's really bad. This knuckle is absolutely destroyed.
Oh, yeah, that'll need new bolts.
Yeah, this is what happens in like rust belt areas. So like in Ohio, where our shop, one of our shops is, they deal with like this every day.
Wow. Look at how little this spring is.
Oh, it is a thin little guy.
Have you ever seen them like that thin on an actual
Not a factory car.
What's really fun though is that doesn't even matter because we have an amazing set of H&R coilovers that are gonna go on this thing. So that monster truck wheel gap that we had, slammed. We also have a front sway bar and some new wheels and tires coming too. This thing's gonna be awesome. So we have a car that was never sold in the United States, and we have an engine that we also never got. How the heck did we get to this point right here? Back at a show in Florida, I was having a conversation with my buddy Nick from Open Air Imports about doing a project together. And he was on the verge of importing one of these Lupo GTIs because they just hit that 25-year mark where we could bring one to the United States. Having a car that was never sold here is really awesome, and I thought, why not put an engine that we also never got as well? And randomly, for some reason, he had a VR5 sitting on a pallet. A couple weeks after that, Jake from H&R H&R reached out to me and said, hey man, we want to do a project with you. What do you got coming up? Now, I've probably mentioned this before, but I've been an H&R fan for a long time. The very first car I ever lowered, H&R Springs. In fact, there are 3 Mark IV R32s. All of them are on H&R Springs, even though that one's only got them in the front right now. Those are H&R Springs. So we're doing this whole project with me, with Paul, with H&R, with Open Air Imports, with Miltech for the exhaust, all to make its debut at the H&R booth at Low Show.
All right, what do you think, Paulie D? This is our first Lupo excursion.
I like it. Feels not super fast. That's what we're about to remedy.
Yeah.
The interior, it feels very like Mark IV GTI to me.
This is my thing. It feels like if a Mark IV Golf and a Mark IV Beetle had a weird baby.
Oh yeah, I like it a lot actually.
The red seatbelts are cool.
Yes, they are neat. The trunk is, it's quite small. Oh man. Did you see he just banged second, and third?
I'm brand
and fourth.
Not double clutching like you should. Look at that.
Oh, an e-golf.
You saw an e-golf.
He knew. It's got the Mark IV body roll. It does smell quite like fuel. Is that a fuel leak?
I gotta tell you, I think this car is cool.
I do. I like it too.
It's surprisingly fun, surprisingly roomy, even though it's a tiny little boy.
We're not the largest people in the world. I may not be considered Andre the Giant, but I could fit back there pretty easily, comfortably even.
He said someplace comfortable.
Yeah, like the back of a Volkswagen. Not the trunk, because this trunk is minuscule.
It's teeny tiny. Now, you're also maybe wondering, like, hey, ding-dongs, we'd love to hear what you're actually saying instead of just the wind noise. Well, pop quiz, hot shot. The air conditioning doesn't work in this thing.
And it's 90 degrees in the North Carolina winter. Oh, it rotates quite nicely.
Doesn't it?
That's shocking.
That actually was kind of awesome. It was better than I expected it.
Yeah, I didn't expect it would rotate so nicely.
Basically an expert.
Basically an expert in rotation. There's subframe bolts you can kind of see from the top, so I think we should kind of, unless you can get them with the bendy straw from the top side, because I think these are going to be a real problem, these subframe bolts. Where is this car from again?
Germany.
Germany.
By the way, we need to make sure we're commenting. This oil is from Germany.
This is German oil.
The air in the tires is German air.
German air is a German strip drain plug. It won't turn out by hand, I'll tell you that. Nope,
Turn
not even
out
close.
for what?
We're Live Laughing Lupo. Live Laugh Lupo.
Laugh Lupo.
That's what we are.
Actually really funny. They should put that on the t-shirt. Oh, straight from Germantown.
Oh, let's assess. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's
not bad.
We'll drain power steering and we'll drain coolant and try to mitigate the giant mess that's about to happen around here. There's always some little straggly guys left behind.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
Sorry. Oh, it's warm.
Oh, it's warm, he said. Someone must have serviced this car.
Paul will service you.
I spilled a little bit on the ground, but there's way too much clean fluid on this.
That looks pretty good, actually.
Yeah, normally power steering fluid of this age, if we used to like flush these cars back in the day, it would be black.
This thing looks like it also has a crack pipe, like the VRs, but it's on the back side. Yeah, it's super weird. We'll see it. You'll see what I'm seeing when we get the engine out, but it's like, and this weird airbox thing. While we finish letting those fluids drain, let's look back at our VR5 because we ran into a huge problem that ended up making a ton more work than we had planned for. We're at 90 PSI. There won't be a compression or stroke or anything like that because we don't have no cams in it. At 90 PSI here, 85-ish minimum PSI on this gauge. So that one was super low. I'm gonna spritz some oil down in here. They're building some compression. Not great news for cylinder 3. You can see we're at 62 or so, 4 PSI, and we got only 10 PSI in the cylinder. Sounds like it's coming from the bottom, which would mean a piston or piston ring issue. I'm gonna do 4 and 5. We'll come back to 3 and see what we get. After bumping into that piston ring problem on cylinder 3, talking to Paul, talking to Nick, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep going. Could we just dump some B12 down in there, which is like a piston carbon treatment? Yes, we probably could. Would it be okay? Honestly, probably would be okay, but I don't like the idea of probably when the work to fix the other side of it is pulling an engine back out and disassembling it. This car is gonna go up for sale at some point, and the last thing I want is for someone to buy this thing and it be all right, and then 2 months down the road, have a problem with it. We don't want that, we can't have that. So, more disassembly is in order, so we can see exactly what's wrong with that piston problem. After completely disassembling the VR5 engine, I decided to take it to the machine shop just to make sure everything was good. That means not only do we get to wait on the machine shop, but we also get to wait on some more parts.
It's a weird intake.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out an intake solution.
We got space.
Yeah, but probably not around
That's
the
a problem.
booster.
Yeah.
Luckily, we're pulling the engine and trans together, so that'll be helpful. We don't have to mess around with that. For all of you guys that love things that are like European only, fresh German leaves. I'm gonna put them in resin, and we're gonna make a little cube. Oh, we'll make a shift knob out of it. So, you know, Paul and I both together have been around the VW Audi world for a long time. That's what happens when you're old AF. Neither one of us have ever worked on a Lupo. This is the only one I've ever driven, so we don't have the rhythm. Paul always blames me for setting him up for like the hard thing. He's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to break this grill.
The bolt that goes up from the bumper to the fender, it's missing. I'm not sure if this just pulls out like a Mark IV, but it makes me really nervous to try. That one's missing too, unsurprisingly, because if you don't put one back, why would you put two back?
I got a clog in my nozzle.
It happens from time to time.
Happens to the best of us.
So I've never taken a grill off of one of these before. It's very nerve-wracking, but luckily, I seem to have been capable of removing this without a single broken clip. There's one, there's two, there's three. That appears to be all of them. I've done it.
Give that man an attaboy.
So the engine bay is pretty small. So the big question mark is, can we fit it? The brake booster and master cylinder is an immovable object. And so we have to figure out if we actually can even fit the VR5.
Paul brought up a pretty good point. Is our VR5 even gonna fit? Well, I gotta tell you guys the truth. I came into this project with an optimism level of like here. Not knowing anything about the Lupo, not knowing anything really about the VR5. I believe in our power to achieve. But not only is engine fitment a question, what about exhaust? This one has a weird exhaust that comes off the front side of the engine instead of the back like most other Volkswagens. What about the transmission? What about the shifter box? What are we gonna do for axles? What do we do about wiring? What else do we have? What concerns do you have?
I have.
Paul doesn't care because he's going home at the end of the day, so
true.
it's like, this is a Charles problem, not a Paul problem.
Ultimately, this is a lot like the Jetta, where the Jetta was my problem and he just left. And in this case, whatever happens is his problem to solve and mine to come back whenever he solved it.
Oh, by the way, I'm gonna just point this out in case I haven't already said this in this video series. Guarantee you at some point, I will call this car a Polo, I will call it a Golf, I will call it a Lupo. I will also call the VR5 a VR6 many times. When I do, you could take a shot if you want to make a drinking game out of it. Just don't die, please. Yo, look at this air filter.
Why do I make a hole in it?
So this is where the throttle body is. So air comes in, goes up through the filter, and then back down into the throttle body.
That's so strange.
I mean, look, we've been in the German car repair world for a long time. 9,000 years between the two of us, and I've never seen a goofy air filter, or an air filter this goofy, I should say. With our engine all cleaned up and back from the machine shop, all that we really have to do is put all of these parts back together. And, yeah. That is however many bolts these are, 16 or so, but one torqued down cylinder head for a VR5 engine. So here's where we're at. Heads on, obviously, new head gasket, the whole valve job thing, re-ring the pistons, Everything at this point, minus this balancer that I have on just so I can roll the engine around, is properly torqued. So our compression issue, all said and done, straight. We got a much more refreshed engine than we had planned for. If you are like, hey man, I need to know how to time my VR, I have done more than one step by step timing chain video on a VR6. I don't know this 100% for sure, but I'm gonna guess at this point anyway that the VR5 is gonna be exactly the same. Even though with our VR5, it ended up being way more work than we had planned, I think overall this actually worked out awesome. Our engine looks so much better than it ever would have had we not taken it apart and sent it to the machine shop. Now we have to get the whole front of the Lupo off, get that old engine out of there, and see if this thing is even gonna fit.
I got a little wet, but this is actually the kind of wet that's like not too bad because it's not like coolant. I'm out, but
Yeah, same.
But good load.
Loady. Right, hey! Oh, look how dirty it is behind
It's pretty gross back there.
One bumper cover, we'll clean all this out before we go back together with it. A lot of this kind of stuff is gonna go back, but one, we need it kind of out of the way that we can work. And two, it may require a bit of an adjustment. Like it's all right here right now, but that may not fly with the other engine in it. Oh, come on. What put that hose clamp on like that? It's legit on the back side of the coolant flange. Dirty pool, friends, dirty pool. This is the fuse panel that, like on a Mark IV, would live on top of the battery, kind of in the same spot. But it's got our main power wire from the back of the car, the battery. It's got our starter alternator cable, and it's got power distribution to the inside of the car as well. So we're definitely gonna need a version of this part, if not this exact part.
A Phillips, which is a rare bird in our world.
Yep.
Also an awful fastener that strips so easily.
Yeah, the fact that that's not stripped yet is kind of
It's kind of fascinating because look at how corroded that is. I'm about to strip the other one, watch.
Yeah. So there's a hole right here in the core support to access this nut to take off the refrigerant line. And so you can just hold the condenser, loosen this. I was like, that's like the one thing that someone was kind enough to think of serviceability for. I just want to point out, look at all the tools that Paul has just thrown on the floor right where we're stepping and working. Bolts on the floor, tools on the floor.
They deserve to be there.
Yeah, well.
We're about to put them back where they belong.
The Milwaukee's don't. They never did anything to you.
He doesn't have any faith in me. He's holding on the whole time while I'm holding him, saying okay.
Yeah, because I don't want it to fall. I'll get my toe hurt. Hey, yo. Actually looks huge there, like the girth of the thing. Let's let's not put this right here to drip.
Okay.
This guy. We'll just flinging washer fluid, dumping coolant where we're working. My gosh.
What a loser.
What a loser. This is a very strange radiator. It's kind of Mark III-ish, but I thought the Mark III was on the other side.
Every swap I've done has been on that side.
I think so. So it may be fine. Like, to be fair, it might be 100% fine. This is good though. This is a pretty big victory moment, I feel like. We've exposed the whole front of the engine. That'll help do some work a little bit easier.
I think we're gonna be able to use this with maybe minor modification.
Yeah.
There's a really funny, there's this guy who does...
What the hell is this? Okay, it's one of those dummy plugs, but with a coolant fitting on it.
That's actually really useful for potentially...
I'm probably gonna pop that out of there and keep it, and the hell with the engine guy. So you can run coolant right out of there. That's kind of awesome.
That is really cool.
That kind of stuff is what I love about working on a car that you've never worked on before, a car that never, was in the United States, is little differences like that are like, holy crap, knowing that this piece exists could solve another problem in a different swap in the future, and that's awesome. That's one for like putting in a document somewhere and just keeping it back of mind that like, hey, there's a solution in case you might need it. And I think that's really awesome. So one of the key things that we're trying to do is stay really organized. If you remember back to when I did the RS3 swap on my yellow car, while I was doing the wiring, I had like a million-y little blue flags all over the place for wiring. I'm trying to label what I know and where it goes. So like when we get this out, the 5 in, and I start the wiring thing, I at least know, okay, this one is for the thermal switch. I have a location for it. I know what it is. Honestly, when we were coming into this, I was like, oh, this is basically a Mark IV. We have a whole Mark IV body harness. This is gonna be pretty easy. The deeper we get, the little bit worried I'm starting to get about the wiring.
We need to go underneath, but I think we're pretty close to coming out.
Man, I don't know if we're gonna be able to just come straight forward.
Yeah, the end of it, you might have to go just forward and then down. Charles is finishing up a few things in the engine bay. We have a couple details to button up, but we're ready to go underneath and remove all the suspension components, get our engine out of our car.
We're gonna take this pipe off, so like the down pipe, I guess is the way to think about it. There's 2 hangers here. Paul will get to use the world famous exhaust hose clamp hanger pliers, which is the greatest thing ever. By the way, shout out to the dudes at Mighty Car Mods who every time they use that tool, shout me out. Thank you guys, I love y'all. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave from here all the way back to this cool like dual exit or dual tipped pipe in the center, because Miltech is gonna build us a custom exhaust, but I don't wanna take the whole thing out. In my head anyway, building a custom exhaust, it's gonna be easier if you kind of have a template of what the exhaust should be, so you're not starting from complete zero.
All these actually broke loose, which to be TBH,
That's kind of a miracle.
I'm kind of surprised by. Well, that's gonna come off anyway, right? Oh no, we may not. We guys, let's just hit. Wait, what's going on?
What? What's that you say?
There you go.
Yeah. Look at
that little guy.
Little baby pipe.
Look at that little guy.
Little baby pipe.
Swung on me a little. Oh, you know what? It's a little floppity and woppity. This guy is, it's just, the rubber is not, it's very rubbery. So.
Now that we have some of this stuff out of the way, check out one of our future modifications, this awesome H&R front sway bar.
Now, when we drove this car earlier, it was awesome to drive. It was rotating around pretty easily and was super fun. This should help with the overall handling and make it even more fun.
Coilovers, improve visuals, improve handling. VR5, more horsepower. Front sway bar, looks dope. Better I've actually never just done a front sway bar on a car.
Me neither.
So that should be pretty interesting. That'll be a test we test in a future test.
A test we test.
Look at how crusty. I'm actually shocked that these springs are not broken. That's a real common Mark V thing where the spring just breaks, but luckily it doesn't matter for us because we have some coilovers that are going on. So these are H&R coilovers. We're gonna get rid of this factory mess, get rid of the monster truck wheel gap, and we're gonna put these bad boys in. We're not gonna do these now. I don't wanna take the whole car apart and then try to figure out how to put it all back together. So we're gonna get the engine situation straightened out. When the engine comes out, we're gonna weigh it and weigh the VR5 to see if we need to do anything with the spring rate of these coilovers, but that's for down the road. First things first, we're gonna let Paul finish all the work on this engine. One of the places where I'm kind of the most worried is getting the axle nuts and the axles out of the hub. So we're gonna get some fire, see if we can get these things out. Sheesh. I gotta tell you, I was actually kind of worried about that, and it came off nice, so I'm happy. Yay!
You did it.
Ew, that's yucky on the backside.
Yeah, Grease Monkey 69 is like, you're not a real mechanic unless you slather your nipples in grease.
I see people do videos like, you're just covered. 1 second in, face is full of grease. Like, don't touch your face.
This is loose like a long neck goose.
This is exciting. We're real close.
We are.
Dangerously close.
I can't wait for this to be an empty engine bay.
Right. Moment of tooth. 1, 2. Ah.
Oh boy. Now you're
Okay.
done.
Well, here's the engine now. Oh, yeah. It's one of those sack ones that have a fluid sack. I'm not gonna cut this open, but I think we actually have new mounts on the way. I was hoping to take, oh, nope, there we go.
Dang, Daniel.
Stage 2 timing belt. Timing belt 1, timing belt 2, timing belt 1.
The slave's off. It's this line right here, but it's rotating forward, so that's,
Your fingers okay?
Boy. Yeah, my finger's fine. The brake line's not great. Let's move
Do we need
forward.
to come up?
Yeah. Now you should be able to like come. There we go, just like that. Now you can come we can come as far this way as we need to now.
Go ahead.
Hey, we did it.
Oh, hang on. All right, good. All right, so we have made one minor error. I should have put the scale on before I put the chain on. We just set it down and actually the engine is super clean. Earlier in the video, I was talking about a crack pipe. It's right there.
There it is.
See it?
Is that an actual coolant pipe?
It's a coolant pipe because it goes
Oh yeah, I see it. The
out of
pump
what's
back
probably
here.
the water pump on the other side,
Yeah, right here.
across to this coolant outlet right here.
Pump it up. Pump it up.
Pump up the... He had one job, and he failed. He'll
By
find
the
a way
way,
to blame me for that
You
one.
see this plastic that's still on this thing? This is like
So I can send it back to Amazon.
this is what happens when
No,
you like
don't take it off.
when you buy a new computer and you're just the weirdo who leaves things on forever and you're like, hey, you've had this computer for 3 years. Why is
Listen,
the plastic still
It's
on
gonna
it?
keep it nice and clean.
Yeah,
You're like, we're off for that? How much?
370.
Okay, so here's the deal. This powertrain weighs 370 pounds. The reason we need to know that is because we're putting a different engine and a different transmission in it. There's a place where we get to have a heavy enough engine that we need to adjust our spring rate on our front springs. When we get the VR5 powertrain with the O2J transmission and some accessories on it, we're gonna do the same thing and see where we're at.
Now actually doing things.
Just take the brakes off. Legit the most basic job in this entire car. Pauly D's on the struggle bus.
I'm not on the struggle bus. As a matter of fact,
I'm the
not.
driver. I'm the captain.
I'm the captain of the struggle bus. These pads, look at these, fresh. These are pretty new. You can still read Techstar on there, which Techstar is generally a pretty decent brand. Caliper, as you can see, is fresh and new because these were replaced at some point, probably because the last ones got smoked. So these are actually in pretty good shape. When Jeff powder coats these will actually be easy. Everything else, he will absolutely be cursing Charles out the entire time for.
When I sent those blue ones over to Jeff for that PCAR 32, like last year or whatever it was, he texted me, he's like, bro, these are the rustiest crappy calipers I've ever had to deal with. And I thought to myself, so far, Jeff,
Yeah,
so
just
far.
wait, I'll top that.
Yeah.
From Germany, 191,000 kilometers, but they're torched. They just look crappy, and the rears actually look better than the fronts. Now the front calipers, on the other hand, as you can see, are pretty roached. You can see all of the red is completely gone here. They're rusted. The entire caliper needs some help, so they're going to be fixed as well.
Okay, while Paul deals with that, I want to show you something that I've kind of forgot completely about, and that's the transmission that we're going to be running. So I have this 02J transmission. This was out of like a 2000 roughly GTI that I bought with a nuked 12 valve VR6 in it. I've already test fit it, easy to install, bolt right up. I think that'd be pretty cool. Oh,
Wow.
I rounded the bit off.
Oh shit.
I opened this 3 seconds ago.
He just snapped it off.
There it is.
This comfort handle allowed him to do so much torque, the chassis twisted off the line. To be fair, this is a 1/4 inch that he was using, and he probably had something like, I don't know, like 100 foot-pounds of torque on a 1/4 inch ratchet. So
On a plus note, this center exit exhaust with 2 tips is really cool. We were talking about maybe doing one ovular tip. We'll have to see. The real problem, it's not even a problem, it's actually a good thing, is we're gonna spend some time cleaning under the hood and you're gonna look at it and go, oh boy, it doesn't even look that good. Under the hood, there's a lot of places that are covered in the protective layer that they put on the car, a product called Cosmoline. It's basically wax. And that wax, it sticks to the car and it attracts dirt. You also really don't wanna scrape all that off because now you're removing a protective layer of the car. So you can see the floor and how dirty it is, and that should give you an idea of, well, how dirty the car is.
oh, he gave me the German snail. All right, so the floor is a mess. The car is dripping everywhere. We're done for now. I'm going home. This is Charles's problem, and we'll catch you in the next video.